Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I'm working on day 14 of By the Will for God's Tempted Devotional. This is in 1 Corinthians 15, 21 and 22 today, which says, "For as by a man came death, by a man has come also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, so also in Christ shall all be made alive." So today I really wanted to use some acetate foliage pieces. However, I didn't have any in the colors that really match this kit. And so I thought about making my own. And so I've taken this Bloom Colorize die from Tim Holtz and Sizzix and cut it out using my Big Shot with Dura-Lar film, which is an acetate basically that is heat resistant. And so I've used that, and I am coming in with these bright colors of alcohol inks. You don't normally see me use this, but I'm going to kind of tone it down with a different neutral background. But you'll see this really fun color that I'm using, just pinks and yellows together and making some fun foliage pieces. I definitely want to do this more often. I kind of forget about using acetate or Dura-Lar film in my Bible journaling and how you can cut them with a Big Shot machine. And so I'm hoping to make a bunch of these for future use. I'll probably just crank some of these out tomorrow. I'm actually meeting with Gail and Mindy, both from the By the Will for God creative team as well. We are getting together for a little crafty day at Panera in Atlanta and gonna get together and just chit chat and craft a little bit. And so we're going to do that and just talk about the kit and work on some things for this kit. And so I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just make a bunch of clear foliage pieces, and then I will have them for future use for this kit or in kits to come. And I can color them, you know, when those kits show up, and so I know what colors I need to do. And it is an excellent way to use alcohol inks. You could also use some Posca paint markers on top to make veins in the plants or whatnot. There's just so many uses that you could do. You could use the distress paint on the back side and have that as a color as well. So anyways, just lots of thoughts on using these clear acetate pieces. So that's what I think I'm going to be bringing for my little crafty thing to work on tomorrow. Looking at this again, I really wish that I could have saved all these nice inky spots on my glass media mat, but I just couldn't think of a way to save it. I'm thinking now that maybe if I used some Scotch tape on top, it might have pulled up some of that alcohol ink, and so I could have used it as like a washi tape kind of on a page, but I'm not sure. But it is beautiful on the glass media mat as well. So anyways, alcohol inks for the win. I love alcohol inks. I don't use them as much as I should. A lot of times I use them for dyeing metal, like metal brads or whatnot, but I'm really into this little acetate pieces, so you'll be seeing a lot of those in the future. On some of these foliage pieces, I used that blending alcohol, and some I just ended up putting the alcohol straight on the acetate pieces. I didn't see a ton of difference in using the blending alcohol or not. Maybe it's because it's such a small surface, but the blending alcohol did help lighten up some of the areas. Once I had too much color down, using that and letting it drip off a little bit so I could put like say another color down where I wanted it. And so that was helpful to have on hand. But if you just have alcohol inks, you could totally do this just with alcohol inks or using a rubbing alcohol as well. This little puffer tool is helpful but not necessary. You could also use like a heat tool to set it. So either way works. So anyways, these foliage pieces are basically the start of the show. Everything else is super simple. So I'm putting it down my scrapbook.com score tape because I'm going to be putting another piece of paper down on this page. If you saw before, I have this book paper that I'm just going to insert right here. It's from an old encyclopedia, and I'm going to make a cluster with all these foliage pieces and this flower. It takes me a little bit of time to figure out how I want all these pieces to lay in my cluster, and it does matter on if you have the alcohol ink facing up or down. It just has a little bit of a different look. I used fabric tack glue to glue those all together to the back of this flower. And I'm just trying to decide if I want them together in a cluster or kind of separate. I didn't want to put too many of those foliage pieces on the right hand side because I knew it was going to be close to the gutter. And now I'm trying to figure out where I can get some yellow paper to match that floral. And so I take these alpha dies from Tim Holtz as well. I've been using these a lot lately. And I decide to use this mini folder. Now, I know it's not used in a folder way, but I decided I wasn't going to use this folder anyhow, and so I decided to use that as a paper since I didn't have anything like it in the paper pack. But what is wrong with this is that once I punched these out, I realized that it's too green on the top for my taste because I don't have any green on the page, and so that green was kind of screaming at me. And so I decided to get my picked raspberry and go over that green section of each letter a little bit, and I went over it twice, deciding to make sure that it was nice and in there good. And you can't see the green at all anymore. And so, yeah, it was a win-win. I used something that I had from the kit, and now it works perfectly with this page. Now, I originally chose this hot pink color because I was originally going to use a journaling card that had this nice hot pink. However, I decided to forego that and keep it much simpler. And so I had based everything off of this hot pink that I saw in this journaling card. So this label is actually from a different kit from By the Well for God, but I have those all in my stash. And so I decided to take it out. And so that is why there is so much hot pink in this page, is because I originally was going to use one of those wildflower journaling cards. But I really like how this turned out. It is much simpler and not as busy. And so that is why I decided to, not use a journaling card. It was a little much with everything I had going on. So I am simply spelling, obviously, alive right here because we are alive in Christ. And so I am gluing these down. I'm going to kind of glue them to the label, and then I will glue the label down as well to the page in the bottom left-hand corner, and then this page will be done. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I'll try to link everything I use down below in the description, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.